Warning! The views expressed on this show do not represent the Undroppables or the fantasy football community. They are mine. You've been warned. Welcome to Unhinged. This is the world premiere of the new show, Unhinged, where I go off. We got a little feedback, a little echo, because I have a special guest today. You see in the thumbnail, and he's working on his headphones, so you might be able to hear a little bit in the background. This is how this show came together. I have takes. A lot of times my takes do not match consensus, and I thought I needed a market for that. It's kind of my brand. I call it data-driven, unhinged bullshit. I have some wild ideas, and I don't just come out of my gut. I don't just pull them out of my ass. I don't just think them up and say them. I'm not like that. I have justification for things. I use data. I use analysis, and I justify every crazy fucking thing that I say. So it's unhinged sometimes. Now, today we have a really good show. It's the world premiere. You guys are out in force, and I appreciate you. Go ahead and jump in the comments, especially if you have your own wild takes. We've got some Patreon takes to cover in a little bit. But let me introduce my guest. He is an analyst with the Undroppables. He's got a show that he does with Jax Falcone and Travis Seal. Shout out to those guys. Also, shout out to Dev at Rusty Shackelford on Twitter, who did the entire graphics deck for this in a couple days and absolutely fucking killed it. Absolutely love it. And so shout out to Dev, and you know, why not go Colts? Also, this show is brought to you in part by Fast Draft. Do you like to draft? Do you want to draft faster? Draft faster with Fast Draft. Go to fastdraft.app and download Fast Draft. The Origins game is closed. That's the all rookie one. But you know what? That just means that after the draft, there's going to be a new rookie game that pops up. But you can play Flex 4 live now. You can play D-Up. It's the IDP. It's all best ball. Draft your teams now. They'll play in 2025, and then you'll win money in January or whatever. It's super fun. Fastdraft.app. Go to there. Also brought to you by Rolling Smoke in the 907 Pickles. Shout out to that guy. Makes great pickles. Go to Rolling Smoke in the 907 on Facebook and order your pickles. All right, my guest. He's right there. There's Joe, you guys. It's Joe Kuvetakis of the Undroppables, and he is now here in the building. There is some echo. I can hear it. What did I do? Settings, audio. I can totally hear me. Echo cancellation. Do some like background noise. It's not working. We need a closed system. I'm here. I hope it's just somebody in the comments. Let me know if that echo is coming out. It's not. Okay. It's just in my headphones. Sweet. All right. It's just going to distract me, not the rest of you. All right. Joe is here, and he just drove up from the Bay Area. Jamie Pirog is in the building. What's up, Jamie? So Joe is here. He's going to help me out on this show. He is my first guest, and we're gonna talk about some hot takes. But first, Joe at Dynasty _ Joe FF. Tell everybody who you are and what's your story, bro.
Whoa! So first of all, I'm thrilled to be here with my boy Jameer Bigz, aka Bigz, aka Brennan Booth. We've been wanting to get together in NorCal for a long time. The only time we ever met was in Canton, Ohio for the Fantasy Football Expo, even though we've been working together for a while. And so I called him like 2 weeks ago, and I was like, hey, let's do a live show. Little did I know I was going to be the first guest ever on Unhinged. So thank you for having me. You can find all my work at the Undroppables. I do a show called Dynasty Underground, which you already referenced with Jax and Travis Seal. And, you can find me on the Twitter streets at Dynasty _ Joe FF.
Well, this did come together simply because Joe was like, "Hey, I'm driving up to Davis. Let's hang out." And we talked about doing a show together. And so over the last week or so, all of a sudden, this show format started kind of clicking in my head, and I was like, "What perfect timing! If Joe and I are going to do a show together, he's coming up on a Wednesday. Let's just throw it out there and get unhinged." But, all right. So we have. God, Dev did such a great job. We've got some hot takes to talk about, and let me call those up. They're in my phone. All right. Thanks, Dev. All right. My first hot take of the day is if you are in Dynasty, sell Rome Odunze.
I love that. Tell me why.
All right. Tweet came out today, courtesy of Dynasty Day Traders. Since the 2018 rookie class, there have been 56 wide receivers to run 100 plus routes and have a targets per route run under 16%. There are two top 40 Dynasty wide receivers who are part of this group, Rome Odunze and Ricky Pearsall. They are part of the group that has played 145 combined seasons and have 9 seasons of 12 points per game, 2 seasons of 15 points per game, 6 total out of 145 had top 24 seasons, and none of them have had top 12 seasons. If you are going to be getting return on a possible top 12 wide receiver in Dynasty for Rome Odunze, you do that. You smash it. And I'm thinking maybe a name like Devontae Adams you could get back for Rome Odunze. Who are some guys that you think you could get back? That potentially top 12 wide receivers.
You're blowing my mind right now, and this is why I'm so happy I'm here. You're the first person I've heard all offseason say, sell Rome Odunze, right? This is great because we're actually looking each other in the eye instead of into the camera. This never happens also, which is fucking cool. You're the first person I've heard say sell, right? I've kind of been lukewarm on Rome. He did hit kind of the minimum points per game threshold that I want to see for a rookie where I don't give up hope. And his profile was so good as a rookie coming in where I'm not, he's just one of those guys where you don't give up. He had tons of target competition. You don't give up. He had tons of target competition between DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, and what's his name? Cole Kmet. So I hadn't really given a thought of selling Rome any credence at all. But I'm ready to hear you out, and that's an interesting stat that you point out. So I like it. I've been in kind of just hold mode. In terms of who I would sell him for, I think you hit a good one in Devontae. It'd have to be top 12 value. Even if it was like top 16, like if it was like T. Higgins for Rome Odunze, I think I'm kind of interested. I think I'd want more runway than Adams. Some dude mid-career that's like locked in as like a high-end wide receiver too, because I think that's kind of where Rome is priced right now. If you could swap him out for a dude that's got several years of runway, but it's a safer bet from a dude that's done it and is going to continue to do it, I'm good with it.
He is currently going as wide receiver 16 on KTC.
Yeah.
So 16 is a great call. And then the other guy, Ricky Pearsall, I was never really high on anyway. He finished as wide receiver 34 last year. That's there are telling stats out there, you guys.
So I'm gonna push back on Ricky. I'm bullish on Ricky. I'm in a startup right now, the Dynasty Underground startup. We're doing like a listener league. So Ricky Pearsall in startups is like way down. Like it's the 8th round right now. I don't think I'd even have to pull the trigger on him until the 9th. Whereas like Rome, you had to take him in like the 5th, like the 4-5 turn is where he went. So like I'm good on the risk on Ricky, and I don't think anyone's pricing him anywhere near Rome. So I would definitely hold on him. I would definitely hold on him because I don't think he'll get equal value, and he's lost target competition just like Rome. But he's in an offense that I think can help him realize his value. But I don't know how it's going to play out. Obviously, none of us do. I just think they both hit the minimum thresholds we needed to see as rookies to hold on. But if you can sell them for profit right now, I'm game.
Yeah, and that's kind of the theme that I'm gonna get around every time I share something that's unhinged. It's that it doesn't mean that I'm not gonna have any Odunze shares. And it doesn't mean that he can't possibly do that. But that kind of outlier, 0 top 12 seasons. Somebody who had his production, if he does that, he is going to be the first wide receiver since 2018 that hits that number. Like, what are we doing here? Are we valuing assets, or are we predicting the future? I feel like in Dynasty, we're valuing assets. We're not predicting the future. So as an asset, and speculation wise with Odunze, he has to be the first one in 7 years to do it. Are you going to bank on that? All right, next one. Well, do you have a hot take for me, Joe?
Yeah, let's go. I was thinking about it more because I'm in such rookie mode that I was thinking about it from a rookie standpoint, or an incoming rookie standpoint. So here's my hottest. Gunnar Helm is a top 3 tight end in this draft class.
Okay. Wow.
I don't have the stats to back it up. Here's what I do have. Dude crushed at Texas last year, right? He was behind Jatavian Sanders the year before, so we didn't really see his full blossom until his last season at Texas. He got hurt at the combine. I'm sure he would run better than the 4.8 that he ran had he not sprained his ankle on his first 40-yard dash attempt. So what we have, I think, is like a super undervalued, mispriced asset. I had him in my top 5 pre-combine. The combine was a disaster, and if you just look at the raw numbers, you drop him down the 4th or 5th round in your rookie drafts. But when I watched Texas film, when I was scouting Bond, when I was scouting Golden, the dude I couldn't take my eyes off was Gunnar Helm.
Mm-hmm.
He's definitely faster than he tested. We didn't see him run his pro day because he was still injured, but I don't feel like a true number 3 has emerged. Sure, there's Fannin, right? There's a couple of other players that have like really good athletic testing, and I typically value that really highly. I just don't think we have a good read on his athleticism. So I'm taking Gunnar Helm in the 4th round every time, and I think he's got the potential to be the 3rd best tight end in this class.
I definitely agree that he has the potential. First thing I'm going to say is Gunnar Helm caught a ton of steam leading up to the Senior Bowl. He got hurt during the Senior Bowl, didn't perform well at the combine, didn't do a lot to help his draft stock at the Senior Bowl. But again, we're talking about NFL scouting teams, and a lot of their work happens either at games, scouting and charting, or during interviews. So we have to take the draft, especially with the rookies and especially at tight end, and I'll get to that in a second. We have to look at landing spot and draft capital for tight ends. And Gunnar Helm, if NFL scouts know what they're looking at, and he is drafted as tight end 1, 2, or 3, then you're absolutely right. Now, out there in fantasy land, raise your hand if you watch the Dynasty Pulse right here on the Undroppables. Also, and Fantasy Sports Advice Network. That's where it premieres every week. Raise your hand again if you are familiar with Andrew Cooper, the tight end guru. Great. Well, since you know Andrew Cooper and you watch the Dynasty Pulse, then you remember him talking on our episode a couple weeks ago about the dearth of tight ends in history who have been drafted after the tight end 3 in the actual NFL draft that have actually performed well. And that created a discussion with Andrew about whether or not the 7 tight ends at the top of this class are historical and they're gonna smash all records, or is it gonna stay chalk and only the top 2 tight ends are going to be ownable? If Gunnar Helm doesn't get that number 3 capital or higher, he very well could just disappear. I saw
he's gonna be 7 or 8. I mean, I don't think there's any chance he's the third tight end taken.
Maybe. All right. Another stat came out. There's a handful of prospects, and this chart is rate of avoided tackles versus rate against their 10-yard split time. Okay. Trey McBride had the worst 10-yard split time of this entire group. So this is 2024 and 2025 prospects. Trey McBride was the worst. He was he was the worst in avoided tackles when he was at Colorado State. So he was basically like catching the ball and he'd get hit immediately, kind of like Marvin Harrison Jr. The guy that pops off the board for the 2025 class is Harold Fannin. He's somewhere. He's just behind Gerald Everett, David Njoku, Brock Bowers, and Sam Laporta. So he's 5th in this group, right? At avoided tackles. He's also 5th in 10-yard split. So he has the rare combination of being able to be fast and athletic and also avoid tackles when he's out in the open field. Gunnar Helm, obviously, we don't have a 10-yard split on him, but he's over the 75th percentile in avoided tackles. He would be behind Fedone, Simon. Oh, I love Simon. Evans from Notre Dame. Go Irish. CJ Dupree, Harold Fannin, and Luke Lachey. And then Helm is just above Ferguson. So he has the ability. He is in the top, I don't know, quarter of the class. So it's going to come down to draft capital. My guy, Oronde, not good at avoiding tackles. All right. And that's our Gunnar Helm segment, right?
Real quick, if
yeah.
you mute while I'm talking,
got it,
and I mute while you're talking, I think the echo will go away.
That's true.
All right. Well, let's hear your next hot take.
All right. I don't know if I want to do this one. Nope, that wasn't a take.
I got one if you're not ready.
Okay, let me just do this. My hottest take is who I have ranked at the number 1 in their positions in this draft. My number 1 quarterback in this draft, my QB1. You see it on the thumbnail. You've been hearing me talk about him since the Senior Bowl. Jackson Dart is my QB1. Period. That's not a hot take though. My RB1 in this class is Ashton Genty. God damn it. That's not a hot take either. My wide receiver 1 in this class is Trey Harris. Ooh, I just burned myself. And my number 1 tight end in this class is Harold Fannin. Now, here's my hottest take. We have a draft class that is going to include likely 3 quarterbacks that could start week 1. Cam Ward, Jackson Dart, Shedeur Sanders. I don't know about Sanders. It's draft capital is going to completely dictate whether he starts week 1 or not. If he goes to the Saints, yeah. If he goes to the Giants, probably not. Jackson Dart's in a similar boat. He's got to get a starting job, but those 3 they're the most likely to be starters day 1. But the quarterback who's going to finish the 2025 season with the most points in fantasy, Syracuse quarterback. Just slipped my mind because I don't have a note in front of me. God damn it. What's his name again? Syracuse quarterback. Why can't I think of it? Somebody help me out.
I'm sorry. I only
go McCord.
I only go 4 deep.
How did I? That was Unhinged, you guys. The way that just escaped my mind. It's Kyle fucking McCord. Kyle McCord is going to score the most fantasy points in 2025. Boom.
I'm sorry. Are we on bold predictions or hot takes? I guess it's both. I'll be honest. I haven't gone much deeper past Milroe in this quarterback class just because it doesn't look like a very good class on paper. And I just didn't really feel like any of those guys had a shot. I'm most interested in Will Howard after the top 4. McCord's kind of interesting. What's his name? Gabriel from Oregon's pretty interesting as well. But like, let's be real here. Like, you know, we get maybe 2 quarterbacks a class, especially in a bad year. I mean, we'll be lucky if we get one of these guys to hit. But I will say, I'm with you 100% on Jackson Dart. I have Dart listed as my number 2 quarterback in this class, and that's a little bit of a running joke because I said basically since January, I'm not sure who my quarterback 1 is, but I'm positive Dart is my number 2. And so I've been kind of playing around a little bit. At a point, I had Shador. At a point, I had Cam. But I'm with you on Dart. I actually think he's got the best under pressure stats in this class. And I'm also with you on Trey Harris. In watching Dart, I watched a lot of Trey Harris. I kind of feel like Trey Harris is this year's BTJ. Similarly to BTJ, there are questions about his route tree, right? He runs a lot of 9s. He runs a lot of hitches. Like, you know, but what you notice when you watch him on film is the same thing you saw with BTJ. Defenders gave him tons and tons of room. So how do you really assess him as a route runner when the defender's giving him a 10-yard cushion every time? Can he not run the routes, or does he not have to, right? He can do his hooks, he can do his slants, he can do all of that, but he's like really good at deep routes. We really only saw him succeed in 3 ways, like kind of on paper and on film. That doesn't mean he can't do that other stuff. It's exactly like BTJ. Now, he doesn't have the 4.3 wheels that BTJ has. He's ran a 4.5 something, but you can tell by the way defenses play him how much respect they give him, how much, you know, Jackson Dart thought of him. His yards per route run in his 5th season, and granted, you may think that's a red flag because he had a 5th season. We typically don't like to see that. The danger is when it's a 5th-year breakout, right? Like a Xavier Legette.
Right.
Trey Harris was effective by his sophomore season and had a very strong junior season as well. So, like, I'm not worried about him from a breakout standpoint. I think from a physical profile, he's like a true X and could fit on a lot of teams, occupying that role in that space with his size and speed. And I think he's incredibly underrated. So I can go with you on that ledge too.
Yeah. Like you said, and so Joe's been here. We've been talking fantasy for like the last 2 hours with our live audience, Art. So I don't remember if you said this at the beginning of this show or like when we were eating lunch or what. It was earlier in the show. You said that wide receivers you look at analytically, running backs you look at film, and quarterbacks you don't.
I said that. I actually said that when we were at lunch. My process is this: with wide receivers, I look at analytics because film fools you. With running backs, I look at film because the analytics fool you. I'm looking for traits in running backs. At tight ends, I look at athleticism. Hence my earlier point about Gunnar Helm. I think is more athletic than he tested, and we don't know what his actual athleticism is. Yeah, and with quarterbacks, it doesn't really matter. If they're first-round pick, it's a 50-50 proposition. There is no leading indicator from an analytical standpoint that's going to tell you who's going to be good and who's not going to be good. And so I just like under pressure stats because I feel like they show you who they are when they're under pressure. Mm-hmm. Are they still willing to uncork it with a dude in their face? And that's why Dart, I feel really good about him because at the very least, he's not going to fail because he didn't shoot a shot, right? There might be some other problems, but fear is not going to be one of them.
Yeah, I have a similar process, especially with the tight ends, because a lot of times, especially in college systems, you can't rely on stats with tight ends. You have to look at their athleticism. And Sumer Sports agrees that combine athleticism is the number one corollary for tight ends and their success in fantasy football. Running back, I do look more at stats, but I look at stuff like what their success rate was with loaded boxes. Like, what are their box adjusted rates? Things like that. What do they do when guys are getting hands on them? How are they getting through holes? Are they on a good team that is just opening stuff up for them? If they have a very high yards before contact rate, it means that they're running in front of a good offensive line. So you kind of have to take that into account when you're looking at their stats. And then there's some production stats where you look at a guy like Devin Neal and him just continuing to produce year after year after year, or somebody like Caleb Johnson, who takes a totally moribund offense at Iowa and is their offense for an entire season. He was it. And so those are the kinds of stats that I look at with running backs. I'm not really a film guy. I do with my quarterback process, and this is going to kill a lot of people. It's eye test. I'll watch a guy in college in a game, and I get a feeling of whether or not they're going to be successful in the NFL. And a lot of times I nail it from the first viewing. Will Levis called it. The Storm and Mormon, watched him absolutely crumble against Coastal Carolina. Called it. Jackson Dart, it took me a while to warm up. But sometimes with quarterbacks, I watch some film and I watch it, and what I look for is progression. What I did with Jackson Dart this year was I watched film from 2022 and I watched film from 2024, and I saw two entirely different human beings. Jackson Dart's progression over the last 3 years of his career, he completely changed himself into a different person. And that's the basis for that. Cam Ward, he was making a lot of mistakes that I saw from Michael Penix and Bo Nix a couple years ago before they had another year in college to fix those problems. And then they came out and Bo Nix became a top 10 quarterback, and Michael Penix is going to be the starter for the Falcons in year 2. Cam Ward screams 2022 Penix and Nix to me. Jackson Dart looks more ready to me. Now, my Kyle McCord take, this is where I get it. Last year, Kyle McCord led the NCAA in attempts, completions, and yards. That means that he's big pro-ready offense, or big pro-style offense ready. He gets to a team, and it's going to be the perfect storm of a situation for him. He's going to be drafted in the later rounds, probably day 3. He's going to go to a team that has a quarterback already. There's going to be zero pressure on him. But we know what he can do. He's got a huge arm. He's a prolific passer. His quarterback 1, he's going to earn the QB2 spot in training camp, and his quarterback 1 is going to get hurt. He's going to step in and wind up being a big arm guy with 3,500 yards and 20 touchdowns and be the highest scoring fantasy rookie quarterback this year.
I love your confidence in this hypothetical. Talking about unhinged bullshit. I mean, maybe it could happen. I've seen crazier things.
Right.
And I like the setup. I don't see how we can get there on he's going to be the highest scoring dude when Cam Ward's going to be starting from day 1. Shador or Dart will be starting from day 1. Like, if you want to tell me, like, year 2, he's going to be the highest scoring guy. But, like, there's no way some 4th or 5th round pick is starting day 1. So
No, he's not going to start day 1. His starter is going to get hurt. Say he goes to Tampa Bay.
Points per game? Are we saying points per game? Help me out here.
No, he is going to score so many points per game that he's going to, in a 13 or 14 game season, he's going to have accumulated more. Say he goes to a situation like the Rams, or he goes to a situation like Tampa, there's no pressure there, and he gets to work in and then take over for an injured Baker or an injured Matt Stafford or what have you. Some kind of situation like that he's going to fall into, and he's just going to absolutely explode. Jake Browning style. Everybody remembers Jake Browning, right? Not just me. Shout out Folsom High School, NorCal.
I didn't know he was from Folsom.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. I like him even more.
All right. I think that's enough for the hot takes blitz. We should go to, I had this in order, didn't I? Let me find that.
You had overreactions for free agency on the show sheet, and I'll be honest, I don't really have any. Free agency was a long time ago. I don't have any major overreactions, so I will just comment on whatever you have to say. Otherwise, I'm ready to roll in some bold predictions.
That's fair. But we will get to. I mean, I gotta give it up for my boy Dev. So watch this video. Just so good. All right. There's a couple of things to talk about.
Shout out Dev. God, what a baller.
Wait, what happened to my overlay? All right. Free agent overreaction. Najee Harris finishes as an RB2.
I'm 100% in on that. I actually traded for Najee in a Superflex League, FFBC. I traded Lamb for the 102. I really need a quarterback. So I was just like, give me the 102. And Najee. And God, there's a pretty decent receiver I got too. I think it was like Khalil Shakir or something, which on paper looks like an overpay. But because I needed a QB and I needed a running back, and I felt so good about Najee, he was the thing that put me over the edge. Normally, in a normal league, I wouldn't do it. If it were not an FFPC league where you got these 16-man roster limitations, I probably wouldn't have done it. But I just needed a QB so bad, and I knew it was going to be impossible to get a real one. So I'm in on Najee, and I think he's going to crush in that offense this year, even if I have huge doubts about his explosiveness and playmaking ability. Volume can go a long way in this game, and he's going to get in that offense.
Volume is king.
For running backs.
Right. Well, everybody out there in fantasy land knew that's what I was talking about. Okay. Overreaction number 2. DK Metcalf will not be a top 36 wide receiver in 2025.
You're on fucking fire, dude. I'm with you again. I think Metcalf and Pickens are probably in pretty big trouble unless Jackson Dart gets drafted by the Steelers. If it's like Aaron Rodgers, like they're talking about, man, that's going to be low volume. Arthur Smith want to run the ball. I have them both in the 34 to 38 range, if memory serves correct. So you're right on the cusp. And I think I give the slight edge to DK, but I could easily go Pickens, and I think they're both probably sells if you can get better than top 30 value for either of them.
Yeah, I'm scared. I'm scared for my Pickens shares. That would be another overreaction. George Pickens is not going to be a top 36 wide receiver, but I think it's a little bit more out there to say that it's DK than Pickens. All right.
I just want to add one more thing. This is just a free flowing thought. I think the Seahawks were right to get out of DK. DK is a guy who's notoriously not taking care of himself. He talks constantly about how much candy he eats, right? And I know this is like a boomer take or whatever, but man, if you're this is a dude that relies on athleticism, and at his size, those dudes tend to lose it faster than guys are maybe a little bit smaller. So you really think Derrick Henry, that dude's got an incredible workout regimen which is why he's lasted as long as he has. I've always worried about DK long term. I think the Seahawks were right to cut him loose. Not to say he's not going to be good this year and the next year. I just think the cliff will come for a player like him sooner, especially in light of the fact that he does not, admittedly, take care of himself very well. So long term, I bet on Pickens between the two of them. But I'm with you.
All right. All right. I see. This is supposed to be Overreaction Station, and so I need to come up with. And when
I'm unhinged too, bro.
Definitely. I think that's what happened to my overlay. And I think I threw you off when I sent you the topics for the show, and I said free agency, Overreaction Station, free agency. When I said free agency, I didn't mean strictly free agents. I meant the period between when free agents start to sign and then or the period of the off season to the draft, where player movement happens, so trades and stuff like that. Okay, I gotta try and throw you off because it's supposed to be an overreaction. How about this one? Justin Fields is a top 10 quarterback in 2025. Got him.
You will never get me on the Justin Fields bandwagon. I will accept him as a spot starter. I got rid of all of my Fields shares a long time ago. He's kind of proven to me that he's not a long-term answer anywhere, right? So he's a stopgap. I don't think he maybe top 10 in points per game, but I think he's not going to make more than 6 games. So I'm out on that one. You got me.
Okay, good. I finally got him. Last year, the Jets rolled with Aaron Rodgers for far too long, knowing that he was cooked. Oh, not cooked. He was coming off an Achilles surgery. Obviously, everybody who went in on Cousins and Rodgers were a year early. Now they're both a year older. But Justin Fields is still young, and he has top 10 upside every time he plays a full season, even if the team is garbage, and even if he's a terrible NFL quarterback. If he starts 17 games for the New York Jets, he's absolutely going to finish as a top 10. He could be top 6. Next year, 2025, Justin Fields or Bo Nix?
It's 2025 right now. 2026, you mean?
No, 2025. 2025 season.
Oh, this season. Justin Fields or Bo Nix?
Or Bo Nix.
Bo Nix. Next year in 2026, Justin Fields is going to be selling insurance.
What are the tiers? There's insurance salesman, grocery bagger.
He might be a PE teacher.
Amazon warehouse worker. That's how hard he washes out. He got a 2-year contract from the Jets.
For the record, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a PE teacher, so I'm not disparaging PE teachers in any way.
No, some of the greatest athletes were
insurance
professional athletes. All right. Let's do some bold predictions that probably won't happen. All right, first bold prediction that probably won't happen. On draft day, the Miami Dolphins and Pittsburgh Steelers complete a trade that sends Tyreek Hill to the Steelers and George Pickens to the Miami Dolphins.
I love that shit. Are you kidding me? That'd be awesome.
Right?
Oh my God, dude. You pair Pickens with Waddle, let Waddle run free, let Pickens just do all the damage on the boundary. That would be sick.
And Tyreek and DK together.
Yeah. I'm in. It's probably not gonna happen, but I'm down.
Hey,
what can we?
You said the title in the movie. You said the name of the movie in the movie.
All right, mine. I just feel like based on how bold you've been and how hot you've been with the hot takes, I don't know if this is that bold, but here I go. Drake May is a top 5 fantasy QB in 2025.
Woo! All right, I like that. I love Drake May. In fact, I want to say that I was the first analyst to comp Drake May to Josh Allen.
Ooh.
My little Chev impression.
Story.
No, like digging into the numbers in college and then comparing Drake May his sophomore year to Josh Allen in 2022, I want to say. They were very similar. Drake May outpassed him, outrushed him, outscored him, and in fewer games. Although it was against the ACC competition, not the NFL. But still, exceeded Josh Allen's stats in fewer games.
And exceeded his stats in his rookie season relative to Josh Allen's. Like, he was a baller last year with no wide receivers to speak of.
Right.
So I'm pretty excited about May. And I think if you give, whatever, he's got Diggs. I don't even know how I feel about that one, but like, you toss one more receiver into that mix. And I think he could be deadly, especially with his running ability, his touchdown ability. His seems pretty clutch, seems pretty poised. New offense. McDaniels could probably get more out of him than the last regime did, so I'm pretty pumped.
Staying with the Patriots, I think Javon Baker has a big year, and also I think they draft Tet.
Oh, okay. Let's start. Oh, okay. Let's start. I don't see how both of those things could happen.
Drake May,
because I think they both occupy. I think they both occupy the same space, though. I know Ted's got some flexibility, but I feel like they're both X's, and it's like, and not only that, but they got Keyshawn out there, and who cares about him? Either of them, I think, could bump him down the depth chart where he belongs. But if Ted was there, I think that basically kills Baker.
Okay.
I think it's one or the other, and I'm in on both. like, just give me the Javon Baker jump, just because I have so many shares already, or put that out there and help Drake out. But I'm good. I just can't see both.
That's fair. That's fair. So bold predictions that probably won't happen. Tet McMillan gets drafted by the Patriots, and he and Javon Baker are top 24 receivers in 2025.
Yeah, that's pretty unlikely. All right, I got one. Marvin Mims breaks out beyond belief and becomes a top 12 dynasty wide receiver.
What?
Let's go. I thought I'd get you.
Oh.
Did you watch Marvin Mims the last 6-7 games of the season last year?
Yeah. I've been watching Marvin Mims since his first few games as a rookie, where I was like, God damn, he's good. And then all of a sudden he disappeared. I drafted Mims in my home league. He's since moved on to bigger and better teams. I don't know how to say that. But I was fully bought into Sean Payton moved up in the draft to draft Marvin Mims. It's a his guy kind of situation. He exploded with it in deep targets in the first 4 games of his career, and then they stopped throwing to him.
Yep.
Or they took away his deep targets, and when they did throw it to him, it was behind the line of scrimmage. Like he was the joker. Yep. He's not a joker.
He's a deep threat that should be moved all over the field. All right, so here's what happened from week 11 on last season. And this is not including the playoffs where he scored again. But week 11, 13.8 fantasy points. Week 12, 7.2. Week 13, 18.4. Week 15, 4.75. Week 16, 9.5. 17, 26.95. 6.95. Week 18, 19.6. In that span, he was, and I'm going off of memory from an earlier study I did. I believe he was the wide receiver 14 in points per game in fantasy. If he continues to see that kind of usage, he's easily a top 24 wide receiver. And if we get that for a whole season and he's healthy with other injuries, I think he's going to finish as a top 12. I think he's a borderline wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2. We'll see if Denver takes a receiver or not. I think they're going running back in round 1 or 2. They already got Ingram, which is going to be some target competition, but may make the offense better. And I don't know, Mims just feels like the most dangerous player on that team right now.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. I've never been a big Sutton guy. I've been a big Ingram guy, but only because he was getting 140 targets. I don't see that happening in Denver, especially with Knicks' ability to run. And the way Peyton wants to create a running game, I think that takes away a lot of targets. Similar to Greg Roman. So it's not out of the question that Bo Nix could sustain 2 successful receivers, one of them being a tight end or 2 wide receivers. But it's more likely that it's going to be one guy who has the lion's share of the targets out of the receiving core. I love it. A lot of people talk about how wonderful Shakespeare colored the English language. And my favorite Shakespearean phrase of all time is third year breakout. And that's where Marvin Mims sits. And it's also where my next bold prediction that probably won't happen comes from. Trey Tucker's a top 15 wide receiver in 2025. I said it. I'll say it again.
Shit. Dude, I thought I was bold with Mims. I love Trey Tucker. You know, we're both Raider fans, so full disclosure to the listeners.
Full disclosure.
Delusional, unhinged Raider fans.
Measured, reticent, unhinged.
Yes.
Raiders fans.
Yeah. So what has to happen for Trey Tucker to be top 15? That means Raiders aren't taking a receiver, right?
No.
Like tackle round 1, probably running back round 2, and then maybe we address defense in like 3 through 5 or something like that. If we draft a wide receiver, I don't see how it happens. But tell me, paint this picture for me, Biggs.
Okay, Trey Tucker was top 20 in deep targets in 2024, and that's with Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell throwing him the ball, and their accuracy was 15th for O'Connell and 25th for Gardner Minshew in deep targets. Geno Smith is perennially top 3. He is elite, top of the class as a deep ball artist at quarterback in the NFL. Trey Tucker is a top 20 wide receiver as far as deep targets, route runs, and success. He's going to have a smash year. I'm trying to get to the stats because I was just a touch unprepared, but last year
you're selling me. I can't believe that you're selling me on this. I'm kind of like believing you. I can't believe you got me. All right, so I know what you're talking about with the Trey Tucker deep stuff, and now I'm thinking about like best of Tyler Lockett, and is that a comp? Now, granted, Tyler's better at like the underneath stuff than Trey Tucker is. He's a situational deep threat who also takes handoffs and is used on these jet sweeps. He's got the rushing upside. I'm trying to visualize the world where this happens. Anyways, I'm sorry. I'm killing time for you. Tell me that's pulled up.
Do me a quick favor. Run to Pro Football Reference and look up Tyler Lockett. Over the last 2 years, Trey Tucker, his success rate has been 41 and 43%. That's because he's not getting accurate balls. He had 24 first downs in 2024. He had 539 yards receiving. He had 3 touchdowns. He had 47 catches on 81 targets. Okay. His catch rate, even if he sits at 81 targets, his catch rate is going to go up into the 60, 70 catches area. If he's getting the deep targets, his A dot is going to be off the charts. He's going to be in position to catch more than 3 touchdowns. So all he really has to do is extend his fantasy points by like 50%, and he's right there in that range. So if we have him at a 43.2% success rate last year and career 42%, and suddenly he is catching balls at a 60% success rate, that's going to be huge. His numbers are going to, like, yards per reception are going to be off the chart because he can outrun. I saw so many deep balls that O'Connell threw to him that were right on the money. Because let's face it, O'Connell is pretty accurate with the deep ball. There were lots of times where Tucker was right there. The ball was just a little bit off, or Jalen Ramsey comes out of off screen and snatches the ball, even though you could see the trajectory of the ball was right into his bucket. Geno Smith is going to be able to make those plays. He's going to be able to lead Tucker past the defender once Tucker beats him, instead of having to come back and the D-back being able to recover. So you're looking at Lockett. How was his success rate according to Pro Football Focus?
All right, I've got them pulled up side by side here, so give me just a second.
Jamie, I didn't say he was top 10. I said he's top 15. And Bowers is still tight end 1. You know that.
All right, so Tyler Lockett's success rate year 1, 66.7%. Trey Tucker's 41.2. Lockett year 2, 50% on the dot. Trey Tucker 43.2. Here's where it gets interesting though. Lockett in year 2, 41 reception. I think my take is this. It depends if the Raiders take. They don't, and he's. I don't think it's likely. I think Jacoby and Brock are going to eat most of the targets, but it's in the realm of possibilities. I'll give you that.
That's the segment title.
That's the segment.
Probably won't happen. Probably won't happen.
I keep doing that. Shit, I keep missing the point.
All right.
I got one for you.
Yeah.
J.J. McCarthy is QB1 in fantasy.
Yeah, I can see that.
I don't think it's that bold. I think it probably is going to happen.
I wanted the Raiders to draft him.
Me too, man.
I'm glad we got Brock, but I wanted McCarthy so bad, and the reason is because of his accuracy, the velocity. He's got a huge arm. Not many people know this unless they watch my shows, because I feel like I'm the only one that was talking about it. But his velocity at the combine was second in the class in 2024 behind Joe Milton, and he was only like a mile or two per hour behind Milton. And everybody was like, "Oh, Joe Milton and his deep ball." Well, McCarthy has a huge arm. He has rushing
second all time also.
Yeah. He has rushing upside. A lot of people don't know this except for people who watch Michigan football, which I do more than occasionally. His freshman and sophomore seasons, he was a running quarterback. They would bring him in for RPO situations, and he was running the ball, similar to what they did with Alex Orji last year.
If I'm not mistaken, he's got 4 or 5 wheels.
Yeah. Yeah, he just happened to get hurt, and that was bad. And Darnold had a breakout year and got paid because of it. But it's McCarthy. Like I thought he was one of my top 2 or 3. I think he was my QB2 behind Daniels.
He was my number 1 in last year's class. I should probably couch that a little bit. At times last year, he was my number 1. I ultimately ended up with Caleb as number 1, and boy, do I regret that. And we don't know. He's the only guy we don't know about in that first round yet, right? The rest all showed out pretty well. Penix is the only one we're not sure on yet. The rest are all probably hits.
Penix looked okay, and a full season he should be good. But that Bo Nix is Derek Carr that runs, and that's going to be hard to like keep him out of the top 10 every year, which much to my surprise. All right, one of the sections of the show, and I maybe I didn't upload it or whatever. And maybe this should be the hot takes. Maybe it's a hot takes redux. There were some things that I found on the internet that made me laugh or are just fucking stupid. I don't know. Oh, Jamie Pirog has a hot take. Roman Wilson catches a pass this year. Whoa, Jamie, slow down.
Was that a shot at me? Was that a shot at me, Jamie? Does he know I'm a Roman Wilson truther?
That's funny. All right. Yeah, let's. All right. I saw this. Jets predicted to draft, quote, old quarterback prospect, and there's a picture of Tyler Shuck. Fuck you. That's one of the stupidest things I've seen. A, they have Justin Fields. B, they spent draft capital on Jordan Travis, who's probably going to be pretty good if he ever gets on the field. What do they need Tyler Shuck for? And this is on the same day where they showed the combine where he threw sidearm Aaron Rodgers style and missed his wide receiver by about 10 feet. Tyler Shuck is not going to. Okay.
Shuck, yeah, it's interesting when you watch him. I heard somebody say this and I can't unsee it. He's kind of like Derek Carr. You just mentioned him. He's kind of like Derek Carr in that he's super athletic, yet very clumsy. And I can't unsee it every time.
Oh my God. I've been trying to put my finger on Derek Carr's athleticism for his entire career, and that just hit.
Yeah, dude. Fumble the ball in the end zone twice. You're pretty clumsy. He's like athletic. He can dunk, right? But he also like, I don't know, gets himself in weird positions and gets hurt.
And he's not slow, but he's not fast. God, he's
like a freaking, athletic golden retriever.
Clumsy. Oh my God.
Just a golden retriever with big paws that like doesn't have any control but can do some cool shit.
That's perfect.
I know.
All right, the next.
Makes me mad that I didn't know this 10 years ago.
I'm still and forever will remain a Derek Carr truther.
I just realized I was on mute the whole time I said that I was hearing myself through the feedback on yours.
Oh no!
Pick up on that.
I don't know. Okay, maybe we'll just cut that. Oh no, we're live. All right, the second one, and let's stay in the Tyler Shuck zone. According to Jordan Dajani, and I don't know who Jordan Dajani is, but this person he's the byline. This guy hit submit on an article with this headline: 2025 NFL draft rumors, one head coach says he'd take Tyler Shuck over Cam Ward as the number 1 QB in this class. What? Excuse me? You didn't talk to any fucking NFL coach that said that he'd take Tyler Shuck over Cam Ward, so fuck you.
Yeah, I completely agree. That's absolute bullshit. One head coach, like basketball head coach for like a, like a Catholic church.
It was the head coach of his daughter's 7-year-old softball team.
Yeah, he's the head coach. He's the head coach.
No, he said NFL head coach.
Oh.
All right. Omarion Hampton. No, that's the Okay, that's what we're doing. The stupid people of the internet. Somebody on Reddit fantasy football, our fantasy football. Omarion Hampton is him. JJ Zacharyson breaks down. Blah blah blah.
Zacharyson, come on, you pay some respect.
That's what I said.
You said Zacharyson.
That's okay. Zacharyson. Omarion Hampton is him. JJ Zacharyson breaks down, and then I think the headline blah blah blah, and then it goes into how Ashton Genty is going to be drafted first, and then somebody in the comments wrote, "Is him, but also isn't the number 1 rookie." Genius.
It's him, the RB2.
Right.
He's that guy.
Yards per fantasy asked, where do you guys rank Mason Taylor among the 2025 rookie tight ends? And I just want to.
I mean, I said earlier in this show that I had Gunnar Helm at 3. It was hot takes. I didn't really mean that. I got Mason Taylor around 4 or 5.
It says Mason Taylor is tight end 3 in this class. Changed my mind.
Gunnar Helm's tight end 3 in this class. Changed my mind. And actually, Harold Fannin is tight end 3 in this class.
Harold Fannin, Colson Loveland, Tyler Warren, Aronde Gadsden Jr., Mason Taylor, or not Mason Taylor,
Ferguson,
Jake Ferguson, Terrence
Ferguson.
Who's Jake Ferguson's on the Cowboys?
Yeah.
There are a handful of tight ends. Mason Taylor is an interesting one. We talked about him with Andrew Cooper, and basically for him, it's going to be landing spot is everything. And I proposed, what if he lands in Miami? I think that would be great.
That's actually a pretty cool landing spot too. Yeah, you're behind Jonnu, but only for a little while because Jonnu is already pretty old. I like that.
And then the last thing that I want to do before we get to the mailbag is I got another big fuck you. People on the internet who are impersonating other people. I got a friend request on Discord from Matt Harmon, and while that was happening, I was on with my partner Mike Greinberg. Shout out FF Canuck 99, and I was like, "Oh look, Matt Harmon just requested me as a friend. That's cool." Turns out somebody created a Discord account that was a betting spam and used Matt Harmon's picture and Matt Harmon's name, and probably joined the Reception Perception Discord and just spammed everybody with their bullshit. Don't do that. Fuck off. Because it only takes a couple of questions before you realize that's spam and you just fucking block them completely. The other one, Jared Leto, singer for 30 Seconds to Mars and noted Scott Fishbowl player, tweeted something about a concert. And so I was like, well, I'm the coordinator of a Scott Fishbowl live draft in Sacramento, June 21st. Go to scottfishbowl.com, sign up. And if you're in Northern California, come out and draft with us. And so I replied on the tweet to Jared Leto. I was going to invite you to this SSB 15 live draft in NorCal, but you're going to be in Kazakhstan that day. Shit. And then I got a Jared Leto liked your reply. Couple clicks. It's somebody using his fucking picture and his name on Twitter. Like, fuck off. Go away. Like, just be your own dude. It's not like it's not like I go and respond to people's tweets and shit like that as somebody else, because I'm me. Don't be like that.
Can't agree more. That being said, I don't know what these people are doing, dude. I don't know.
Don't you could be doing something better with your time. Like
it's that classic line. It's that classic line. Just be yourself. Everyone else is taken.
That's funny. That's good. All right. And Jamie Pirog, I've been getting a lot of those spammers with fake athlete names trying to join my Facebook groups, but I banned them right away. Ban hammer. The ban hammer comes out. Shout out Jamie Pirog. Don't give in to those people. All right. I have a commercial to play, and it's for Fast Draft, but the Origins game is closed. So watch this about Origins, but think in your head, I'm gonna play D up or flex 4.
Rookie. It's all about rookie talk in fantasy football right now. So why not go use all that knowledge to do something other than a mock draft? Chris Jimino won $8,000 with just 2 teams last year, and each draft took 5 minutes. That's pretty good ROI. You can start doing rookie drafts for money today on Fast Draft. The Origins tournament is live. It is the place to go and monetize your knowledge of rookies and use your favorite player profiler host promo code for a $25 deposit match. Now let's go start drafting faster.
All right, I'm going to call Matt out on a couple lies. Number one, it's not a $25 match. It's a $50 match. Use code BOOTH, BOOTH, when you sign up. Drop your $50. They'll match you $50. Also, Origins is closed now. It's just an old commercial, but go to fastdraft.app anyway. Download it, get your account started, and play the other games and wait for the new rookie game, which is going to be happening at the end of this month, early May. I'm going to say goodbye to my guest, Joe, before I get into the last segment, which is the mailbag, because I had a couple people respond to the mailbag, and I wanted to get to that. So, Joe, let everybody know where you're at, and thank you for coming on, buddy.
Thanks so much. I'm so glad we did this. Let's do it more often.
Yes.
You can find me at Dynasty_JoeFF on Twitter, or just DynastyJoeFF on Blue Sky. And please subscribe to the Dynasty Underground right here on this YouTube channel, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all that good stuff. Thanks so much for having me. It was unhinged. You delivered. I feel like I'm a little more unhinged. Hopefully our listeners are too. Great time as always, Mr. Bigz.
Sweet. And next time I'll have to come down to Walnut Creek and we'll do it. Yeah, thanks for coming on. Oh, I forgot. This is yours.
Oh, snap. I've been wondering about this.
It's a Brandon Cooks autographed mini helmet that he won at the Fantasy Football Expo, courtesy of Fantasy Sports Advice Network. And
what the hell am I going to do with that?
Not a lot of people know this, but Joe is having a baby in a couple months. Just shove it on your kid's head.
Yeah, I was going to say, I got some Cowboy fans in my life. I'll find one that cares. All right. Thanks so much for having me, bud.
Thank you, Joe. All right. Just to finish up real quick, I'm going to go to the mailbag. All right. Courtesy of W. Walker H. He's an Undroppables patron. And if you want to be an Undroppables patron, you have to go to the Patreon, first of all. But there's a link in the description of this show, and you can go do that. It's a great Discord community. The Patreon is fantastic. Undroppables is elite. So courtesy of W. Walker H. And he hit my heart immediately because he's got the Arkansas Razorbacks logo in as his avatar. Woo pig, Razorbacks. My wildest pre-draft take is that if Travion Henderson goes to the Broncos in round 1 and everybody stays healthy, he'll be the highest scoring rookie running back this season. Not saying you should draft him 101 over Genty. Well, okay. So there are a couple things in there. Everybody's got to stay healthy, etc. I like Travion Henderson. I don't know if I like his profile as much as I like Quinshawn, Omarion, Caleb, and Genty, but I do like him, and I think he's going to. He's going to be good. I just don't know if he profiles to RB1 workhorse type touches. But thank you for that, W. Walker H. And then Curdy. Shout out Curdy, who's been in the comments, and he's been smelling out the BS, etc. Working on some wild offers received because I asked for people to Hey, Joe, you're on the clock. Joe is on the clock. So Curdy, shout out to Curdy, part of the Undroppables team. Kareem Hunt, Jamal Williams, DJ Moore, Marshawn Lloyd for Brian Thomas Jr. and Chase Brown. So he's being offered Kareem Hunt, who's an expiring asset, Jamal Williams, who is not an asset, DJ Moore, who I'm high on DJ Moore this year, and Marshawn Lloyd for BTJ and Chase Brown. So here's the way, Curdy. Here's the way that I look at it. Whenever you're evaluating a trade, you always have to look at who's the best piece, Brian Thomas Jr., and then you have to kind of look at what the supplemental pieces are around that. I don't think your return. Hey, Murdoch, stop it. Lay down. Sorry. My dog is kind of skittish, and Joe just came out of a door. Stop it. Stop. And I have to deal with that. Hey, everybody look at my dog. Say hi, buddy. Say hi. Go lay down. I said lay down. Right here. Okay. Let Joe cook. Crisis averted. And now he's going to lay down on my my interface. All right. See you, Joe. So, all right. BTJ is the prime, and there's no return. Chase Brown, I don't hit accept on this trade before the draft. If you had any inkling of making the trade, but this is a bad trade offer. Don't make these trade offers. If you're going to go after a guy who finished as a top 10 asset in fantasy, you better come out the pocket and offer a top 10 asset from another position, or you're not getting BTJ for DJ Moore, and you're certainly not getting anybody for Kareem Hunt and Jamal Williams. So, Curdy, if you're commissioner of this league, kick the guy out. All right. Tyreek Hill and a 2026 third rounder for year 102. Good Lord. All right. You have an aging, and we all know speed goes first. You have, Curdy says it was insulting and it made him unhinged. Yeah, I'd be pissed. All right, Tyreek Hill in a 2026 third for my 102. I mean, I'll give you 15 pennies for a quarter. That's a great analogy, Jamie. All right, Tyreek Hill is an aging speedster, and 2026 third is like not even like there's no value in that for the 102. So really, you're looking at one of. Are you giving up Travis Hunter for Tyreek Hill? Are you giving up Ashton Genty for Tyreek Hill? Are you giving up Tet McMillan for? I'm not giving up Jaden Higgins for Tyreek Hill at this point in Dynasty. All right. Darnold, Metcalf, Etienne, and the 104 for Richardson, Neighbors, and the 207. This is the least crazy of the three that you submitted. I don't like it, but it's the least crazy. I mean, you're being offered the fourth, and Etienne I think is in for a big year, but he's only got a couple years after that. 104 is kind of for me, it's the perfect spot because I like Trey Harris. I think he's the wide receiver one in this class. I like Jackson Dart. I would take him at the 104, and I would take a Caleb Johnson or an Amari and Hampton at the 104. And to add those guys to Etienne, Metcalf, or Darnold is fine. But you're giving up the 207, which is another spot that I really like because there's going to be a lot of guys of value at 207.